It is the chocolate juggalo, Willie Mack.
What's happening, people?
Yeah, you may curse.
Oh, shit. Well, that's the business right there. Up here at Cauliflower Alley, putting it down for all the black folks in Southern Cali. It's a shame that only a couple people showed up from SoCal, but we putting it down for it. I held my hand up. And Rock Riddle looking at me like he got a problem. Looking at me sideways and stuff.
Rock Riddle's looking at you like there's a microphone that he's not holding.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rock Riddle.
Let the bells ring out and the banners fly. Feast your eyes on me. It is too good to be true, but I am actually here. Those of you who are with it, without it, transcended it, kicked it, returned to it, and thought of it, bless thee. Everything you've ever done has brought you to this moment, and it's gone. Relish every moment that you see me, because when you see me, you see not only excellence, but the epitome of excellence. You earthlings, you don't understand. You just cannot comprehend the diamond ring and Cadillac man, the Rolls Royce of wrestling. Where's the camera? Look at that. Look at the Rolls Royce of wrestling. Now, who is this other person who is talking before me? Does anyone care? Does anyone want to hear anything else from him? No, I think not. Because you're probably wondering, Rock Riddle, how did you become so extraordinarily handsome? Were you a really good-looking baby? And I would have to say, no. As a kid, quite honestly, and I'm always blatantly and brutally honest, quite honestly, I was sort of plain-looking. But how did I become so handsome, you ask? I practiced. I looked in the mirror and I said, you're handsome. Until I became handsome. And I kept doing it until I became this amazing specimen that I am right now today.
That's a damn lie.
The woman's dream, the man's nightmare. And we have probably some people on the line who have questions for Mr. Wonderful. And they say, whoever that was on the phone before, on the microphone before, we don't even care. Because now we have Mr. Wonderful. Yes, every time I go to a new city, like right now, I came to Las Vegas, Nevada. And do you know what happened? As I'm walking up and down the boulevard, there are sanitation trucks following me. Do you know why? To simply pick up all of the swooning ladies, all of the fainting ladies. Women are leaving their husbands. They're following after me. Men are in such denial. They are so in awe of me. They're sitting at their living room. They've got their big fat beer bellies hanging over. They've got a beer. They've got a cigarette. They say, I'm going to be like him someday. They're totally out of touch with reality. They have no idea that no one can ever come close to the only, the original Mr. Wonderful of professional wrestling. And they say, Rock Riddle, you must have women all over the place. And I say, I don't like women. And they say, what does that mean? Do you? I said, no, I don't like men either. And they say, well, what do you like? I said, I want to clone myself. I want more. My gosh. And you're probably saying, but Rock Riddle, you are the woman's dream and the man's nightmare. And once again, Rock Riddle has taken over the show. Yes, it didn't take long to drive other people off. They know they can't compete with me, the original Mr. Wonderful of professional wrestling. So, Rock Riddle, how did you become a professional wrestler? Is it true that when you were 14 years old, you had never seen a professional wrestling match before in your life, and you weighed maybe 129 pounds? Yes, that is true. And when I was 14, I saw my first professional wrestling match, and it was the life-changing experience. It was the greatest experience of my life because I saw live and in person sitting on my living room floor at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, Channel 11, out of High Point, Winston-Salem, Greensboro, North Carolina, Championship Wrestling. And on the screen, live, was Rip Hawk, bleached, blonde, tanned, bigger than life, one of the greatest professional wrestlers ever in the history of the business. And I said, he's cocky, he's condescending, he's arrogant. Finally, I have a role model. So I followed in his footsteps. He said to me, hey, kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, he says, you want to be a professional wrestler, kid? And I At 129 pounds, I said, well, he says, you think you can do it, boy? I said, well, he says, I think you can do it. Rip Hawk, the most amazing professional wrestler of all time, said, I think you can do it. On my 16th birthday, I decided I will become a professional wrestler. I weighed 130 pounds, and people said, and I grew up in North Carolina, and they said, boy, you ain't too bright. You know you'd have to gain 100 pounds to be a wrestler, and your bone structure's just too small. I don't know why you don't get a job like your daddy. He's been working in the drugstore since he's 14. I mean, heck, he's going to have that house paid for in another 8 years. I don't know why anybody won't leave the county. Got everything you want right here. Yes, if I wanted to make hosiery at Burlington Mills, or if I wanted to grow tobacco. But me, Rock Riddle, I was so far and beyond those simple country bumpkins. And they said, you'll never do it. I said, watch me. I laughed at them just because they put limitations on themselves. They limit themselves, and they thought they could put those limitations on me. And I said, you think you can steal my dreams? You moron. No one can steal my dream unless I hand it to you. So 5 years later, I was in that same section of North Carolina, main eventing. I took on George Becker, former world champion, and George Becker was almost a deity there to those people in the South. Their joke was, you don't know who George Becker is? What's the matter, boy? You don't go to church on Sunday? I beat him. I caused a mini riot. They called out all of the law enforcement in the entire county and into the next county, fearing a full-scale riot. They didn't know that Rock Riddle had it under control. It was amazing. I made the front page of the newspaper the next day. I was talking to one of those people who tried to steal my dreams 5 years earlier. I was standing there in front of him at 236 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal, and he said, oh my gosh, boy, you done it. I don't think nothing's impossible no more. And I said, bingo, you got it. So there you have Chapter 1, Part 1 of the Rock Riddle Saga. For Part 2, mail your check or money order. Send your credit card information. We do accept PayPal. Also gold and silver at spot price to HollywoodSuccess.com. Rock, R-O-C-K, at HollywoodSuccess.com. And yes, that's the address to use for your PayPal donation. Make a donation to the Buy Rock Riddle a Private Jet Fund. Yes, SJ30jet.com. Take a look. Take a look at that jet aircraft. And you say, but Rock Riddle, you're not a pilot, are you? Of course I'm a pilot. Why do you think I fly aircraft? Well, what do you fly, you may ask? Well, what about my Grumman American AA5B, November 287907, Grumman 287907? And the tower says, Grumman 287907, turn right. Runway 28, right crosswind departure. We have information, Bravo. And I say, of course, because other people just don't understand what it's like to be so magnanimously gifted. I am in awe of myself. I just can't believe that I'm this good. And when I can't believe I'm this good, I go around to other legends, like Rob Van Dam, who says, oh my gosh, I've got people lined up, but there's Rock Riddle, the original Mr. Wonderful. I can't let these commoners stand in my way to go over and hug this man. And like Stone Cold Steve Austin, when I met Steve Austin, I said, Steve, I'm Rock Riddle, I'm the original. He interrupted and says, I know who you are, brother. You're a legend. And I said, yes, that's true. And I have many other stories that you will hear in Part 2 when you make your amazingly large donation to rock at HollywoodSuccess.com through PayPal. This has been the first, the only, the original, Mr. Wonderful of Professional Wrestling, coming to you from another little convention somewhere. This one in Las Vegas. It's not a little convention. It's a big convention. It's the CAC, Cauliflower Alley Club. Once a year, major convention. Why is it major? Because I am here. Why do 90% of the people come here? To see me. Do I realize that? Yes. Am I flattered? No, I'm used to it.